course. Today we are starting our chapter on working in teams, which is chapter 8 if you are a student with the textbook. So we will start with a quote, which we do sometimes. Teamwork is the ability to work together toward a common vision. The ability to direct individual accomplishments toward organizational objectives. This is the fuel that allows common people to attain uncommon results. By Andrew Carnegie. Andrew Carnegie. So our first topic is to be able to explain the meaning of group and a team. So we're going to head into our definitions. So, what is a team? We will start out by saying that we are groups or teams. So groups are generally people that come together without that common vision. So we come together maybe just to share information or to learn or to do something that doesn't mean that we all have to work towards the same goal. And in groups, we have group communication. Your textbook, or the textbook we're using here, defines group communication as the exchange of information with those who are culturally, linguistically, and or geographically alike. So I will have to kindly disagree with the textbook because I do not believe that we have to be alike culturally, linguistically, and or geographically. For instance, if you look at Intel, which is a global organization, one person might be in Mexico, one might be in California, and the third one might be in Poland, in Europe, and the fourth one might be in India. So they are, excuse me, they're not geographically alike. They're not linguistically alike. Well, you could say they speak Intel language maybe, and they're not culturally alike unless you're looking at the organizational culture. So that is one, I would say that is one definition, and that's the definition that this textbook uses. I can also add to that group communication in general is, it's an act, it's a behavior where we send and receive messages to members of a group, right? It's the communication that occurs among individuals. All right. A team is defined as a group of people who come together to achieve a common goal, and that's what sets the team apart from the group, is that common vision or that common goal. We might have formal or informal teams or groups. So when they're formal, they are brought together within the organization to accomplish something very specific or something specific. So they are appointed by the organizational structure. The informal team, on the other hand, they do not have set goals. They're typically formed independently of the organization. So this is going to be when you go to lunch with your friends who may be from the same department, from different departments. These are going to be the people that you meet for a happy hour or go to yoga with, that may or may not have organizational structures that connect back to you. We also have types of teams in the workplace. So we have functional teams, which is a group of people who work together in the same department, likely with different jobs within that department, but typically we report to the same manager. So it's a team of people in the same functional area, which makes us that functional team. We can also have a cross-functional team, which is a group of people brought together from various areas, various departments, and they probably have various bosses or managers, but they might have one group lead or team lead on that team. We also have self-directed team. These are teams that do not have the typical manager that supervises the team, but rather the team supervises itself. So these self-directed teams come together. They are, excuse me, I think I have allergies. They have a variety of skills and talents, and they manage themselves, and they manage achieving that goal themselves. And we also have virtual team, which is what we do a lot in the pandemic/endemic. A virtual team is the one where teams form and we work together over technology and the internet. We work together virtually. And then I also want to add project teams. So a project team is a team that, and I'm going to see if I can write it. And you know, my pen doesn't always work beautifully here, so it might not come through. But a project team is one where we come together temporarily to work on a task. Sometimes we call these ad hoc committees. We can call them steering committees. And your textbook project, this is supposed to be an E, which is not a project. Your textbook talks about it, and they didn't include it on this slide. And I did, but that was on a different computer, and it looks like they have not synced yet. So for the PowerPoint, I will add that. So the project team is also one type of team. All right, so with that, we're going to head into the exercise and summary for this quick chapter. So think of one of the 5 teams you've been on: functional, cross-functional, virtual, self-directed, project team. Give examples of them. And if you haven't been on any of those teams, think about what teams might look like in your organization. What kind of teams does your organization use? Do they work? Or what are the advantages and what are the downsides? In summary, a team is a group that comes together to meet a common goal or vision. We have informal teams as well as formal teams with different structures. And then there are different types of teams that we just covered. With that, this is a wrap, and I'll see you for part 2.